In a forgotten village wrapped in morning mist, a troubled youth sought clarity beyond the noise of his own thoughts. Kai, a 24-year-old man burdened by constant worries, lived near mountains that seemed to echo his restless mind. Day after day, emotions surged inside him like unsteady tides. He replayed old mistakes and feared what tomorrow might bring. The weight of regret and anxiety drained his spirit, leaving him exhausted and unable to rest. Neighbors noticed his distant gaze and the smile he had nearly forgotten. Some wondered if he would ever rediscover peace. Kai heard whispers about an elderly sage in a remote corner of the valley. This mentor, once respected in crowded cities for guiding troubled minds, had retired to a quiet hamlet embraced by nature. People occasionally traveled there seeking wisdom. Kai's curiosity ignited. Could this sage understand his turmoil? Would he help him silence stormy thoughts? After days of trudging along narrow trails, Kai arrived at the secluded settlement. A humble cottage stood covered in vines and dappled sunlight. On the porch sat a wise elder, eyes closed, serenity on his face. Kai approached softly and admitted, "My mind feels overwhelmed. My thoughts are scattered. I long for inner calm. Can you help me?" The elder opened his eyes and smiled with warmth. "If you desire tranquility," he replied, "you must complete a simple task." He guided Kai to a courtyard. There, he filled a cup to the brim with water. Not a drop could move without spilling. The elder instructed, "Walk through the village and return. Do not let the water fall." Kai agreed, determined to succeed. He began the journey carefully. The path was tight and bustling with villagers. Children laughed, merchants bargained, and dogs barked. Yet Kai fixed his gaze solely on the cup. He tuned out the commotion and focused entirely on his steps. Strangers observed him with curiosity but offered no interference. Slowly, he completed the route and returned to the cottage. Proudly, he said, "I kept the water steady. Not one drop escaped." The elder nodded. "Tell me," he asked, "did you notice the children playing or hear the dogs barking?" Kai blinked, surprised. "No," he answered. "I concentrated only on the cup." The elder's smile widened. "This reveals a hidden truth," he explained. "When your attention lives in the present, fear and confusion lose their grip. Excess thoughts fade. In that focused moment, your mind quieted. You are not dwelling on your past or worrying about what comes next." Kai absorbed these words. The lesson settled in his heart. He realized that peace doesn't lie somewhere distant. It emerges when the mind returns to the moment. Live where your feet are. Stillness is found now. He bowed respectfully, acknowledging the wisdom he craved. As the sun lowered and evening colors draped the sky, birds glided homeward. Kai started his walk back, transformed by understanding. This was the clarity he had sought for so long. He no longer carried the burden of constant worry. Instead, he embraced awareness. At home, the familiar sights of his village seemed different. The wind felt softer, the shadows gentler. Kai understood that mindful attention could keep the mind balanced. He would practice this awareness daily. No longer was he the same restless man. The villagers noticed subtle change in his posture and expression. He spoke with patience and listened with intention. His journey had redefined his perspective. He knew challenges would still arise. Yet he felt ready to face them, anchored in the present. Peace began to flourish within him, not as a reward, but as a skill to nurture. Kai continued practicing, discovering that even during chores or conversations, he could guide his awareness to a single action. When worry tried to creep back, he breathed deliberately and returned to the moment. Over weeks, sleep became deeper and mornings felt lighter. He learned to appreciate subtle details, the rustle of leaves, friendly greetings, and warm meals shared. His transformation did not erase hardship, but it built resilience. People sought his advice, curious about his shift. He shared the sage's lesson freely, reminding them that calm emerges when the mind stops wandering. His story became a quiet inspiration throughout the village, shaping every single ordinary day again. If this story inspired you, please like the video and support Winds of Thought. Share it with someone who may need encouragement. Never forget, awareness shapes destiny. Subscribe for more stories that encourage reflection and resilience. See you soon with new lessons and fresh insights. Remain centered and hopeful.